Pulled in the pits, walking up to get a first look at RPM Speedway. Here it is. Tight little bull ring. Definitely not super wide and definitely not super big. Looking at a place like this, it almost feels like an outlaw kart or a micro track. It's probably just big enough for sprint cars and definitely a joint that doesn't host 410s normally. I believe, you know, it's mainly more of a 305 or 360 scene around here. And I would say the shape, the layout, the banking will sure make this place interesting. And realistically for our team and the 18T, we really just want to have a good night. We really want to try to start working on building some momentum, some consistency, you know, unload, hopefully be close, and work on making our car better every single time we hit the track. I think there's a quote that says, don't focus on results, focus on change, and if you focus on change, you will get results. That's what we're working on right now. We're just trying to get better and better and better and really just get rolling. So RPM Speedway tonight, let's make it a good one. Probably expecting a pretty good field of cars for some Sunday night 410 action here in the Lone Star State. Qualifying's finishing up here at RPM Speedway. Right now we're currently sitting 10th, and I think the racetrack's kind of starting to get slower as more guys go. I was a little nervous because when I went out, I think I was like 8 of 8, and with that being said, I don't think my laps were stellar. My second time by, I got through 3 and 4 good, you know, and then going back to hot laps, like I felt like you know, my car didn't feel out to lunch. You know, I felt like I had something to work with. We made 2 small changes before qualifying just to try to get me to pick up drive a little bit sooner. I feel like I'm kind of down left and skating across the track, and I kind of want my car to stand up and get some right rear grip and drive me off straight, like kind of get the car squared up, drive off, center off, you know, better. So you have a lot of wheel spin at a place like this, and you try to keep your foot in it to keep the car moving. So long story short, qualifying, I definitely think I could have been, you know, you can always be better, but if I could have got through 1 and 2, I think that was probably the difference in my lap, because like I said, I felt solid in 3 and 4, and we just got to continue to kind of find grip, and like I said, kind of evenly driving the back of the race car. We'll see where we end up, but we're going to make some changes and kind of see where things shake out as the final cars go. So we're about to climb in for the heat race. We ended up 15 quick, right in the middle of the field. So we're going to be starting 3rd, 2nd row inside. They're going to be transferring the top 5. Just kind of interested to see how the track's going to race. We saw how it qualified, which was kind of like 3/4 of the way up the track. Guys were diamonding off or following it all the way around, but there is some slime on the bottom. So I think that if guys do move down there and it gets ran in, by the time we go, you might be able to kind of move all over or use that, which will be a much shorter lane. But got to get after it. We got to get through this to get tonight's show. So the good news is we made it through the heat race. The bad news is we dropped a little bit. Glad that we're in the show, but of course we want a lot more. The main thing, and that's what's so difficult about this game and going to new tracks, is how much is it going to change in between your qualifying lap and into the heat race. And the racetrack, it obviously just races different because there's many of us out there, and guys are forced to go to different lines than just where we qualify. I mean, and I wasn't horrible, but I just lacked a lot of drive. I think everybody is. Everybody right now is probably in the pit area really working on trying to get your car, like I talked about, to drive off the corner and make speed when you're off the throttle, because you're not necessarily on the gas a ton here. You're not using all 900 horsepower for sure, but so we're working on that right now, just trying to get our car to build momentum as we're racing, and especially being in traffic. So there's definitely an element there where you have to be good around other cars, especially us. We're going to be starting deep, deeper in the pack, almost more towards the back. But we have some ideas, and all you can do is just keep, trying to go into the right direction. I think what we did helped us in the heat race, but it was by no means far enough. You just got to keep going more and more and more just to try to make it comfortable for me, so I can still drive the car hard even though the racetrack doesn't have as much grip. So they got a support class out there now, then they're going to have the dash, the B, and then we'll be into the A main event for 35 laps. Racetrack is sure shaping up. It's kind of hard to tell. It feels like it hasn't really changed in a way, because even when it looks like there's grip, there's really not. And then as it's kind of started to slicken off, I don't feel like the times have been a drastic difference. Kind of a cool place though, I'm not gonna lie. I'm interested to see how this A main event goes. It's gonna be difficult in traffic. There's not a lot of room to race, but it's not like everyone's been in one line all night. Guys have made the top work, guys have made the bottom work, kind of a slider line. People have passed, so no complaints as far as that. We just got to kind of see how it continues to move as we run 35 laps. Made a whole bunch of changes to the 18T. We're trying to throw all we got at this thing. I feel like at this level of competition, unless you're just way better than everyone, you got to constantly be on it. And even then, you're always trying to find that little extra. So for us, we're trying to take a good swing here just to be better and have a chance to move through the field. So heading out for the feature right now. I think officially we roll off like maybe 19th. So we're deep, but that gives us an opportunity at a hard charger and just to move forward. The main thing, like I said, was we just kind of worked on our package and changed it, hopefully giving me a little bit of a different feel where I just feel more stuck into the racetrack, and I'm moving and can allow me to run different lines and go where guys aren't. So the main goal here, get a good start, kind of maintain, and if we have the opportunity, really pounce and get some ground early. we cannot catch a break to start this season. Was out, what do you expect? When you're in the back at this small of a track, stuff happens. We had a couple, 3 or 4 yellows, it felt like there, a red, I don't know, I lost count. But yeah, I was just in the back and some guys got tangled up in front of me and it just had enough damage. I think it smashed the right side header, so I was done about 10 laps into tonight's A. The other unfortunate part is I felt like we made the right calls. We made some good changes. It's just when you're that far in the back, it's hard to show it, and I made a crucial mistake. I just barely, I'm talking barely. There's times when I've smoked tractor tires, but I barely clipped an infield tractor tire, and I don't know if it knocked the toe out. It did something though, and it didn't feel the exact same. It still was gonna be capable of finishing the race and still have a good shot to move forward, but I did screw myself up there and just took me out of a rhythm. Hard to get in a rhythm anyway with all the yellows, but I'm gonna go watch the rest of the race. The track was kind of cool, but anyway, it just really sucks. So leaving Crandall, Texas tonight, I have to admit, I'm kind of a fan. Wasn't a fan of, because of probably a small racetrack like this, we didn't really get as many green flag laps as I would have hoped. The start of the race, not like anything revolutionary happened, but I started 19th and I think I'd passed a car or two there on the first, second lap before that first yellow came out, and I had good forward momentum. And I just think there's a lot of scenarios where these races go green to checkered or, go 15 or 20 laps before anything happens. If that would have been the situation tonight, I think our A main event really would have played out well. Unfortunately though, it was stop and go early, and then that led to just some things not playing out as much in our favor, and some mistakes made on my end that you can't make those mistakes and put us in a position, you could say, or just in general, starting that far in the back, you're kind of in a spot where if anything happens, there's not always necessarily a way to avoid it, and that's what took place here off of turn 4. Smashed my header and then just tore up my right side nerf bar and a little bit of top wing damage, and unfortunately the header being smashed is what ended our night. So of course really frustrating, just because man, we want to just finish these races and be around long enough to give ourselves a chance to have things happen, but at the end of the day, it's another night of racing down. The one positive that I do feel good about is we made changes for the A, and if we kind of see another racetrack like this, very slick, slow, like you would say spinny is the word. Your car feels very spinny. The rear tires just trying to get traction even from hot laps to qualifying early in the night when it appears like there's more grip. We have some better direction where to head and kind of to start, so we can be more on pace sooner. So make those notes, add to the book, and be ready for that situation or whatever gets thrown at us next. In the end, big thank you to all you guys for supporting, as well as all my great partners, The Boss, Shane DeWald Trucking, S-Tech, Veenendahl Trucking, Orville Tax, ABC Powder Coating, QRC, Earth Environmental, Carbon Works, Pit Stop USA, Fast 4 Media, Canopy Country, Ty 22, Triple X, Champion Car Wash, Bullseye Design and Print, and Rod and Supply. Without everyone involved, we would not be where we're at and out here on the road, trying to race with the best teams. But we're going to keep after it. We have a long season ahead of us. This is just the start of our 2024. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Deuces.